This is like I said so. Here I'm live now. Here. Yeah, howdy everybody, welcome to the live stream. Hello, 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 testing. Howdy everybody, welcome. Sounds coming through the live stream. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's cooking. Okay. That's, I think I got it set up now. Okay. So we'll get her started on the stream is today. I'll get us kicked off here. Moment. Yeah. I'm centered, I think. Yeah, right. Well, this is Rick Koppel coming at you from Denver, Colorado with another episode of who knows what I call this. It's like updates. Basically, I started updating my Parkinson situation, but also turning updating a lot of other things like things of that nature. I'll just take a little time to go post this up on Facebook and stuff so people can see who are interested in this kind of thing can see up there. Probably the best place to put it is on Facebook, I think. That's just personal about me, or a couple. So we'll go over there and we'll do that. So hold on while I finagle this thing around and get it set up. Alrighty. I gotta remember how I have to do. It's been a while since I've done all this stuff. Right. Let's see. Um, I remember how to do this. get the level link. This is where's a link. I know, a little. Wrong you. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, send you. In my mind. Maybe I did a post it on Facebook, so it's on Facebook now. And get a little traffic. We'll have to be up at this hour of the day, which is most people, I would assume. We may be stretching out for the afternoon naps or something, I don't know. Anyway, it's so what have I been up to for the last year at least? I can't, of course, give everything since my last update. My last update was over a year ago, probably. I did post one video on this channel of a simulator driving, flying an airplane around North America, and I'm still working on it. But I've got a different airplane, different setup now. So I'll show that to you in a minute when we get to that part. First thing is Parkinson's. What's going on with Parkinson's? That's what most people want to know about for me. So it's been pretty steady overall. Not just kind of a fun, I guess, in a way. So, but it's been pretty just normal. Noticed some progression a little bit, but not a lot. And so is my hands. Probably you might be able to see a little bit more shakiness in a bit more. Pretty steady right now. But I have noticed it mostly in my typing speed. Can't type as fast as I used to. even even when I it's kind of like when I first had Parkinson's in 2013, 2012 was when I first had his first symptoms, but I was diagnosed 13. He's Parkinson's. Then I went, but yeah, that's one thing too. I'm slow mentally more than I have been previous times. Anyway, was on Parkinson's, diagnosed with Parkinson's. Then in 2017, I got DBS put in, and that really helped a lot. Matter of fact, 2018 was like one of the most productive years as far as writing goes. I could write up a storm with that. My typing speed got back to almost what it was at the beginning of the whole mess. Of course, it's gradually gone downhill again since then too. It's like like I had this part about everything different. With that, get worse first, then get reset. Something like that anyway. So anyway, I was doing for that, and I've noticed a little bit of mental decline, I guess you could say, a little bit. Not really, not Biden decline, but I'm looking at him thinking that's very where I'll be someday, but hopefully not. It's the worst it'll ever get, and I'll be fine. They say that happens a lot with the Parkinson's patients. They don't always get full on dementia or anything. It's just that you have a little bit more struggles with trying to remember things and stuff like that. Notice that happened to me on occasion. And let's see. So anyway, I'm Parkinson's is otherwise been pretty steady overall. Not really climbing at an enormous rate or any big rates like I did at the time when I was on the medication. It really accelerated it when I got off of it. And that was a pretty bad situation, I guess. Yeah, if I never taken those I never taken the medication, gotten off of it, and got back on the study and got back off of the study. And all that stuff. I think every time I went off of the medication, it's like I noticed it progressed a whole lot. Boom. I was taking a lot of medication by the time I got my DBS. Now, DBS really helped me a lot. For me, it's a good experience overall. Good outcome. So, but you have all. It doesn't take care of everything. My voice is considered gotten worse and things like that, and stuff of that nature. So, yeah. So, I think. I mean, I did have some sleeping issues with acting out my dreams and stuff in the middle of the night. Pretty bad, actually, some way, because one time I went with my wife or something. Often there'd be something attacking you in your dream, and I'm doing that in real life too. I'm not just doing it in my dream. And then I hit my wife accidentally. I mean, not accidentally, I mean, without me even knowing I was doing it. Hit her. That kind of thing. So we talked to the doctor about it, and the doctor said, this out, this medication, try this medication, try half pill. So I did all that, finally found something that worked pretty well. I don't do any more acting out that much. Occasionally a little bit, but not much. Which I think is very happy about. So, uh, yeah. And we got, let's see, what else we got? So Parkinson's. I think that's about all the news on Parkinson's. I'm doing pretty good, a little bit of progression, but not much. See where I'm at next year, huh? Yeah, that's all you can do with this disease is hope for the best and work. You keep making progressions on how it works out and all that kind of stuff. And my eyes have been messing with me a lot lately. I have to dry them out and stuff. I got dry eyes, so I got a lot of tears fall off my eyes a lot. I can't stay up there like most people do. And so that's another thing I have to deal with a lot with. And let's see, what else? Can't think of anything else right off the top of my head. At any rate, uh, on the Parkinson's front at least. So I'm taking several medications. When not related to Parkinson's. Most of them are Parkinson's medication. Result of DBS medications, type thing like that. So yeah. So I guess that's about it on the Parkinson's front. Not much has happened. This is good, huh? Yeah, I feel blessed in that regard. That um, doing as good as I am. Um, no big falls. No more big falls like I had earlier last year. About June last year, I had a big fall. It wasn't even due to Parkinson's either. It was just due to me being stupid. You know, because this is not what it's supposed to do. Is walk across the parking lot, try and turn your phone off, volume off at the same time, and you don't know when you hit curb or something and miss it. You're down flat. I don't even think I caught myself at all. Just fell face first in the cement, and I barely remember any of it. But which is another blessing, I guess. But if I remember, it'd probably be bad. But at any rate, so I haven't any other big falls like that. Nothing big, major, little hits here and there, maybe slight fall, but nothing that hurts me or nothing like that. So, um, let's see what else. I guess that's it. I, they do have. I've been waiting for this new a thing to come out, which will help in some ways. Because every night I have to turn down my Parkinson's, otherwise I get about 2 hours of sleep and then wake up 2 hours there or so, right around there, 1 to 2 hours. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, "What am I doing up? Why am I waking up?" I usually don't wake up in the night. Usually I go sleep straight through without any problems. Even with Parkinson's, it was I didn't have much in the way of sleep problems, not until I got DBS. But and it's a lot less. I mean, what I deal with is a lot less what a lot of other people deal with Parkinson's. So less in that way. But some of them can't sleep at all or get to sleep very easy at all. I've always been an easy sleeper. I'm usually out pretty much right when I hit the pillow, so to speak, or shortly after thereafter, at least 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes after I've laid down, I'm usually fast asleep. But then I'll wake up if I don't turn myself my DBS down to a low setting. I have a low setting and it's called sleep, and high setting is just called Group A. And at any rate, yeah, I turn in that day when I did wake up, and I turned down to be when I turn down to sleep when I go to bed, obviously. So yeah, it helps me to get more like about 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night usually. And the interesting thing is that the sleep that I get, I really don't have much dreams. It seems like much, basically because I'm not on the edge of waking up that well, or something like that. I'm not sure why. At any rate, yeah, I got my eyes closed because of my dry eye symptoms mainly. Dry eye symptoms are from Parkinson's as well. You don't blink as frequently as you used to, and your ducts get clogged up. Being of dry eye causes that. Anyway, I close my eyes every once in a while. Usually during the sermons, I usually close my eyes. Sermons, I always imagine them thinking, "What's he doing over shipping all this time?" I remember that's every word they say, but looks like I'm talking to you right now with my eyes closed. I have to close them every once in a while just to rest them or something, give them some break or whatever. So anyway, that's enough about that, I think. So what else have I been up to? Well, write and print. I've been got a few things done this year, or last year, and this year. I've got a whole book that I'm ready to publish, except I can't publish it yet, just yet. That's Allie's Angelic Adventures, which is a really interesting book, and that I didn't really write it with any kind of outline or nothing. I just kind of sat down and said, "I'm just write this totally from the seat of my pants." So I don't think I've ever really done before that. And I usually do writing by the seat of my pants to a certain degree because I usually just what I usually do is I create major outline points on the story, and then start from there, and then I'll just fill it all in. So I know the points I have to meet to get to point A to point B, the end of the story. But I never have just gone totally outlinelessness, something like that. Never been totally outline free, where I then go and think, hmm, what are we doing here? Yeah. Don't be afraid to speak up if there's anybody listening or watching. You say hi, and I'll say hi back. Watching. Um, rate, let's see. So anyway, Allie's Angel Adventures was written and edited. Oh, I can always edit it more. Every time I go through it, I find more stuff I want to change. So Yeah, it's always editing. It's when do you stop? And that's always the hard part for a lot of people because they edit, edit so much they edit all their, their voice out of it sometimes. At any rate, I got that one ready to go, but I have to wait for it because it's the last book in the whole world history, so to speak. That and there's a lot of spoilers in it. Earlier books, spoilers in general sense, not in specific sense. There's a lot of things that don't go. I don't regurgitate everything that happened on other books, obviously, but yeah, see characters in that story that around all the other stories, so you kind of get the gist of what the outcome was, what happened. You don't know what's going to happen in the book anyway. Good guys are going to win, bad guys are going to lose. That's pretty much what it usually is. I remember the first time I watched the movie where the bad guy won, and I'm like, what? And they're all duel, and they went, walked 10 paces, turn around, shot, and be done. If the good guy didn't lose, died. Yeah, yeah, so that's not what happens here. Most of my books usually are pretty positive at the end. I don't have these gruesome things that happen like that. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about, feel free to chime up in the chat. Let me know. Ask a question or something, and I'll answer the best of my ability. Let's see. So we've got updates on the other book I wrote. What I'm waiting on. I can't publish that book just yet. And I'm just finished the Legend of the Dragon's Dying Fields series, and I'm editing that book. So as soon as that one gets edited up to par and standards, and hopefully I have somebody else look at it. I don't just, and my daughter helped me with the Island Angel Adventures. Yeah, so as soon as I get some edited and thing, then I can publish it. And once I publish that one, I can publish the Island Angel Adventures. Okay. Lots of close to that world, I think. Since so, I've written a lot of books in that world. 7 books I've written in that world so far. 3 series and one non-serial book by itself, pretty much. Yeah. So let's see what else we play here. I got updates. Oh, my simulator. Yeah, I promised to talk about that. So we have a simulator. Now, when I started out going around the United States, the North American continent, I had this grand idea I was going to fly all around North America, and I'm still working on it, still cooking in Florida right now. So uh, I'm still working on that part of it. But yeah, Florida, the whole thing was I started on X-Plane Linux, and I worked around that and got up all the way around Canada, Alaska, and I went through top Canada. That was the tough part. All the ice was forming on my wings and all that kind of stuff. You had to really, I think I crashed one time because of that, getting ice on the wings. But anyway, I did finish going across Canada, got down where it's now it's warmer weather, down in Florida currently. So I work my way back up there, and then it's not too much further till I get to Tejas, and then I'll get to Brownsville where I started out. I think I started out in Brownsville, Texas. where I started. I went south through Mexico there. So the only thing I've been wondering about is whether it's okay to use. Oh yeah, the other big change I got was that I got a new setup for Christmas. As far as that goes, the yeah, before I had a little uh, joystick thing, which worked pretty good as far as that goes. But then I had this little flap thing that I used for the rudder. Move it up and down basically to go back and forth rudder, which got used to where I could do it pretty well and went straight pretty much on stuff. But of course, it's not a real rudder. God, nobody uses that in a real airplane. They don't sit there and flip a little switch around as they go down the taxiways and stuff. So anyway, the I learned to. I wanted a rudder, real rudder, and real yoke and all that power stuff for Christmas. I didn't think I'd get it because it's kind of costly. It's like about, I think the whole package cost somewhere around $300 when it's said and done. So, but but then my wife and my son, Jeremy, down Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and I can't remember. I think maybe my brother shipped. My brother, not my brother. Maybe you did. I just don't know it. But anyway, the I think I think Masada needed chipped in, and they all chipped in. They buy me this thing Christmas. I mean present. Pretty cool. Anyway, I'll show it to you here if I can finagle this round. See it. Yeah, you see the yoke there. You can see rudder pedals down there, I hope. And power and levers right there. Yeah, I have a messy desk, I know. So what can I say? Hey, Steve, how you doing? Yeah, just showing off my yoke and stuff I use to fly around on a simulator with. Anyway, I had a guy from one of my church over church who had who was in the planes and he has his own simulator. But he was using. That's good to see you too, Steve. Hopefully everything been going up fine in Colorado. I'm not Colorado. Where you live. Chicago, thank you. I was trying to remember what it was. I knew what it was, but I couldn't come to my mind right off the bat. So anyway, um, yeah, so hopefully Chicago, which I'm going to be flying through there, which you know about already, but some of the people who ever watch this later may not realize that. So anyway, I'm at this setup here with and he suggested I should get MS flight simulator instead of X plane. So I didn't know. It does have more GI. I mean, it's pretty amazing what they do now because right now they have you can get you can get you can go find your house and stuff things like that. And I've actually got I've actually got one guy who I talked to. I'm not going to dox you, don't worry, Nathan. If you ever look to this, yeah, wife is first, that's for sure. don't want to kill you or something like that because you left or yeah. Actually, where we're gonna fly in is at in Midway. It's gonna be like early in the morning, so on Friday. So it won't work out probably even if you did. And we only have an hour or layover, so that probably mostly get eaten up. And if it's at all late, it's gonna push us to get over there. So anyway, that's what we would have worked out probably anyway. But I thought maybe if you had the time and the desire and stuff, maybe you could drive up to Grand Rapids, but you're not that far from it, I guess. About how about an hour trip or something like that? Hour or 2 hours. So anyway, I was talking to Nathan and I told him about that this Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think they use Google's stuff or something like that. Midway is about an hour away from where you're at, or from Grand Rapids. Yeah. So I had a see, what was I on? To Grand Rapids. Okay. An hour away by car or jet. So yeah. So yeah, I mean to drive there, I don't know how 2 hours, Grand Rapids from Midway, or you're Chicago or wherever you take off from, and by car, yeah. I thought it was about 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, something like that. Just looking at it on the map, and we, yeah. What was I talking about? Hmm. Let's think. Oh yeah, I was talking about the flight simulator thing. But anyway, yeah, he started likes Microsoft, and oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Let's locate. So anyway, I was talking with Nathan in chat one time. I told him that they could find the location, and that you usually find your house and stuff. So can you find mine? He gave me his address and all kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell anybody what it is. So anyway, uh, so I flew over to that area and I looked and I thought I got as close as I could to where I thought he lived because it was what the Google show was like is out in the weeds for a bit. But so I just got the closest house. Say, yeah, it's my garage where he works or something on his lab, as he calls it. And so that was the cool thing about that. And I tried, want me to blow up his house by flying into it. Well, unfortunately, I mean, the X-plane had a good crash simulation. You crash on the ground, usually has fire and everything, crowing like that. Well, 4 hours from home to Grand Rapids. All right. So mine was off a bit as well. So yeah, so at any rate, but strangely enough, if you set it to hit collision more as it says, realistic collisions, it just bounces off things. So I can fly right in the building and boom, and sit there and I can take off. I mean, I hit roofs and boom, boom, I just bounce off of them. So I couldn't really crash. It may have a fiery thing on it, but at any rate, I found his house or his lab, as he calls it, all that kind of stuff on the thing. So it was interesting. I need to go back to Marble Falls and look for my old house. I was there and see what it looks like on there. Probably more interesting thing on it. So anyway, I decided I would go with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I knew it was supposed to be better, powerful, whatever you want to call it. And And there's things I like about X-Plane for sure, but there's also some things I didn't like about it. And so but in order to run Microsoft Flight Simulator, I had to have a Windows computer instead of just it wouldn't run and using a Proton and all that kind of stuff in Linux. I don't think very easy. So I I got Windows on this computer here, this gaming computer that my son used. It's actually my son's computer, and he's letting me use it because he's got other computers now, bigger, better, more powerful stuff. So this works all right for this thing, and I think the GPU sometimes is NVIDIA. I want to say it's 60. I don't know. One of the numbers anyway. I can't remember what the numbers are exactly on it. And so it has problems occasionally with this, that, and the other thing. And it's the first time I've had a Windows computer on a consistent basis on my desk. I've used Linux for so many years, since 2011, I think, is when I first started using Linux. And I loved it so much, I just went with it all the way, whole hog. But who knows, maybe I'll get some work and actually have QuickBooks on my computer at some point, so that'll work. So let's see. So I got Microsoft Flight Simulator installed it. I had to learn how to refly all over again, especially with this whole contraption here. It worked okay on the X plane. It works okay about equally well on Windows and Microsoft Flight Simulator as far as the controls go. So it worked pretty well. And then we had a let's see. Yeah, so currently it took a while before I could get used to it and land the plane with it. Once I got that part down pretty well, I decided I'd continue on my trip, which I was thinking I was on the east coast of the United States at that point. And I'm all the way, I'm going up the west coast of Florida, and I think I'm in one of those cities. I think it's one of those cities there. I don't remember which one it is, but anyway, it's well known. Everybody knows what the name of the city is if I said it. I don't remember that much, but and we'll get to Texas, Brownsville, Texas, and when I get there, I'll have completed a complete trip around the whole North America continent and flight simulator and an X-plane. That'll be interesting. Especially interesting interesting, and then I had a lot of ice on my plane and going across northern Canada and stuff. And no, Doctor Who isn't flying in on the thing here. That was my text notification sound, which I got that off of Doctor Who, obviously. Anyway, uh, let's see. You have any questions you want to ask Steve or anybody else? Jump in. So anyway, let's see. That was a simulator and my progress on that. So hopefully I'll have my last leg of the trip recorded. I recorded one other trip when I was going up from on the west coast of Mexico. And that's currently on this channel here. But I don't think I recorded anything else since then. It's just been hectic, you know. So it's been hard to get everything fitted in and take care of it. I've been flying at night and had a few night trips and a few night trips over the yeah, Steve asks, you still checking out Linux? I've stopped. I'm checking out things right now. I'm just had to put Tumbleweed on my computer. This framework laptop that I'm on right now, and that's for all the people who don't know. It's OpenSUSE. OpenSUSE is Tumbleweed. It's a version of it. They also have Leap, which is a static version. Tumbleweed's more of a rolling distro. Not like Arc specifically, but it's still rolling. You never have to re-upload and never have to download another ISO and install it. It's always new, I guess you could say. I've been streaming on Win11. Cool. Yeah, and Win11, that's what I got on this computer over here. And Windows is interesting. I mean, you got all the telemetry and stuff that people worry about sometimes. Don't worry about it too much because I don't know. The only thing I really do on that computer is just Flight Simulator. So I'm not all that excited on that. And so but I still am thinking I've got a couple of videos I want to do, which maybe I'll do later today or tomorrow. So I'll have time tomorrow. I'm actually going to be off tomorrow. Hey, I'm going to be off tomorrow. I just realized that. There's something I knew I was wanting to do with church people to help some lady with her gutters. And it's kind of a men's group thing they're doing. And then after that, we go and we have a little service, a reader service, and we have a little potluck afterwards. So I didn't think I'd be able to go to that now. Now I can probably. Need to remember to tell him that so he'll know. So anyway, um, I'll be off tomorrow. I'm busy doing that most of the day. Won't have time probably to do any recording. Anyway, I'm thinking maybe because I just installed. See, I installed Tumbleweed on this one time, and then on the update, it asks this question, which you probably encountered before, Steve, where it asks you which version of config file you want to use. Do you want to use your old one? Do you want to use your uh, one that's new and is brought in by the maintainer? Well, I don't know which one to use. I don't have any clue what they do with that. I didn't change it, so uh, I just put it on there, and I chose the wrong choice. Obviously, I didn't choose default. I said, "Yeah, let's use a new one." Because I figured, well, new. So, and nope, it wasn't the right choice, and it borked the whole system. I probably could have got it in because there's some dealing with desktop. It wouldn't fire up desktop or wouldn't fire up some. I don't remember exactly if it even booted up or whatever. So I decided to have to reinstall it. So I reinstalled it. This time I decided to that was Plasma I used on that version. And so on this version I decided to use XFCE, which is fairly reliable, steady desktop environment. And so, but there's some oddities about XFCE that that you have to know and do and fix, or it's usable for what my purposes are, at least. 'Cause I use a lot of key bindings, not a lot, but I use several that I'm used to using for it, so I have to set up a certain way. And then XFCE doesn't like you to use the Windows key with the other key bindings that much, especially if you're dealing with Windows. It won't even operate on those. They don't go on at all. And the but it'll operate on the other ones, but it always pops to me. You have to hit the escape after every time you do that. So there are usually more keystrokes you have to do. Yes, 6 dozen in one way, 3 the other, or something like that. So, uh, yeah, so at any rate, I installed it with XFCEs, and I got it set the way I want it. I'm going to do a video on that to show how I did it. Because I looked over my videos, I know I've showed it on video before, but apparently it was in the midst of a big install of some other distro or something. So yeah, there's one that they mentioned, I think, on the Telegram forums about uh, Unix, NIRI or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it is. I have to look back on it. See, it sounded interesting. I don't know how. Now I used Pikachu OS for quite a while. Yeah, so that was interesting. It's a Debian-based system, but it used all the packages from the the well, first level of things where the new distro is going to come out. Eventually, it comes out and they name it afterwards, but it's that kid on. That's what I mean about my Parkinson's. I'm gonna have trouble recalling things like this, but I mean the kid on the I can't even remember the name of the movie now. Disney Pixar's Toy Story, I think. Yeah, there we go, Toy Story. And they use all the names, and they name it doing this, so they always use the name from there. Someday they're gonna run out of those names, I think. They'll have to go to a different Pixar movie or something like that. You're right. So not sure where it's going with that. Anyway, uh, yeah. So let's see where am I going with anything right now. So yeah, oh Pikachu, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I tried to reuse that on this computer for quite a while. Been out a full year, but more like about 9 months, something like that. Where I had a problem with it, and I decided I didn't really have a problem with it. It wasn't a bad distro, obviously. It was a gaming distro actually, but it worked real well. It worked real smooth, it worked real fast. And SID is what I was trying to think of. Yeah, SID version of Debian is the first level where they develop all the software fresh off there and test and pop. Yeah, Steve says I do have Endeavor and GNOME installed and have been testing Pop Cosmic. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I tried Pop again one of the time. I don't remember what happened. Cameras, I don't think I tried on this computer. I think I tried on the living room computer, which is a Dell Optiplex. But I don't remember what happened. Something happened and it didn't work or something like that. Not sure what the problem was. Anyway, so there's been one where I wanted to at least install it on another computer, and I've had this old laptop. It's an old laptop that I've had back in 2010 or 8, and it's got like 4 gigs of memory on it, so it's not all that fast. But it's a good way to test out old uh, distros that have claimed to be all this low overhead and stuff like that. The CPU on it isn't all that fast either. Not funny how this happens. So it's kind of been my Linux part of the update and my computer updates. I've got this Legion over here, which is got MS11 on it. And I've got this framework which I use for my laptop main computer, which has OpenSUSE. I do most stuff on that, including streaming like this. Has a good CPU. It's 16 gigs of memory and all that kind of stuff, so that's good. And then we have I don't remember what I have on this old Spire laptop down here. Some At one point I had the old Lars set system on it, which if you remember that, it's I have a video on that somewhere in the stack. I'm going to do a search on it, but it's like the Lars is the Star Trek Next Generation computer. At least it looks like it, and it's works. You can actually use it for doing stuff on and computing on, but it's a little different. And um, the computers I have a computer over here that's old that works, but I just don't have anything to use it for right now. So it's sitting over there and gathering dust. And and then I have the computer that I used to have on my desk, which I switched over when I put all this yoke and power and the rudders and all this kind of stuff over here. I had to put when I put Microsoft on it, I had to set up on that. So I got it over there, and I had the Dell that I used to have Dell Logflex over there in the living room, and it's right next to my mom's old Dell Dimension, which is a 2008 computer, I think it was, and that's an old computer. It's got like it's operating as my Debian server right now, so that's very much what I've got done on computers. Let's see, I had a Microsoft Surface Pro, which died. And it won't even boot up. It has this loop it goes through when you boot into it. You can't get out of it, no matter what you do, no matter what setting you set, nothing happens. You continue to go through these two things. And there may be something with the trusted thing, and you can see whatever that is on that. I try to turn it off, turn it on, but nothing. Then it just loops back. Every time you boot into it, it'll go whether you set the smart boot or the TC, and I think it's called trusted some, and yeah, it won't even boot out of that. Nothing, even install anything on it. Trying to bypass using uh, uh, installation media. Won't even get there. So I think that was going to go into the trash bin of history for me. Yeah, and I have the only other computer I have is the newer Spire that I had, 510 or something like that. It's pretty good. I can't remember if the keyboard still works fine, I think. So, yeah, it's a blessing. Most of the keyboards on these things eventually die off and they stop working right. One of the best things about framework is I can always just go buy another keyboard insert and insert a new keyboard insert in. Not that hard to do with these things. But with that, it's a major thing to try to do that. You gotta remove all these parts, you gotta do the motherboard and that kind of stuff. And that's requires a lot more expertise than I have on that kind of thing. So, yeah, so I've got that here, and I've got a form of tumbleweed on it actually, but it's the Micro S, and that's because my grandson comes over. He uses that computer a lot, and that way it stays updated. I don't have to worry about updating it. It stays updated automatically. So cool. And that's really, I think that's all the computers I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 computers. Yep. So, how many do you have, Steve? How many computers do you have total? You know, probably 100 or so. Not that much, obviously, but I exaggerate a bit. And let's see. We got that. And I'm not sure what else. 1 PC, 4 laptops. 5 altogether, huh? 5 computers over at the Steve's household. His very own household. Yeah, it's Steve's very own household. So, see how we gone over that. We gone over simulator, my Parkinson's issues, and what else? Yeah, I'm not forgetting something important I intended to talk about. She wrote this down or something. She kind of got on take off with this stuff sometimes. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, talk a little bit about Linux and my computer situation. And what I really like would be to get the money to buy the 16-inch framework with the bigger expanding keyboard and all that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. I don't know when I'll have that kind of money though. After when I bought this one, which is almost 1,300 and some odd dollars. I can't remember how much this cost, but it's around that that thing. One of the most expensive laptops I've ever bought. And my wife's like, "You ain't gonna need no more laptops for a while, boy." I said, "Okay, yes, ma'am." Um, see, oh yeah, something else I was gonna talk about. I think it was let's see. Oh, my trip. That's right. Steve already knows all about the trip, so but a lot of people from Facebook probably won't know that. So I'm going on a trip pretty soon. I I've always wanted to go to the Railmakers Runners Conference. Railmakers Runners Conference is a Christian-based uh, place for Christian. How do you put that? I don't remember how to put it. Anyway, it's for creative Christian creative types who write novels and stuff like that, write plays and other things, poetry and all that kind of stuff. and it's all based on this group that we have on Facebook. And uh, they have this writers conference every year, and this year they gone a step further because they've teamed up with the gamers on the Christian gaming sites, and they also have a lot of people who they contracted to be there for us. Going to be one of the biggest expos, so they call it Expo now. Yes, the writers conference isn't descriptive enough for the whole thing, so they have a lot of expo. They're going to have gamers there. They're going to have a lot of stuff. Grand Rapids. So we're at the close to where the yeah Amway's hotel is Grand whatever hotel, and so they're gonna have that there, and they're gonna have all this stuff going on. Well, I've played around with wanting to go to that every year, and this year I decided, well, let's see what it'll cost me to go to this one this year. I wanted to go. I didn't really expect to go because I thought, well, I'm probably not gonna have enough money for this. So, but I decided I'd check to see how much it costs. So I did some calculations on how much gas I drove there and all this kind of stuff. And I figured if fluid to be out of the park to when I first find out how much it costs to drive there, I probably spend more time than I can money right now. Uh, so anyway, I got the figures out and I put it down and I came up with the conclusion is going to cost around $600. That's not counting spending at the bookstores there and stuff like that, things of that nature. So that was the cheapest I could make it. That's with the lowest ticket price, and $40 and for me and all that kind of stuff. So I was contemplating that, and then we have a chat with our son Jeremy every week usually, and on Zoom because he lives down San Antonio, which is a little ways from Denver, so he can't just zoom up here anytime he wants. So he comes in on the Zoom, and we talk. We were talking one time, and Mom mentioned it that I was looking at that and thinking about it because I was talking to her about it, seeing if maybe we could swing it somehow. And but I told her that's all I wanted for my birthday. My birthday is 16th of July, and this is on the 18th of the 22nd or 21st. And so she uh, she mentioned, Jeremy, that's what I want to for my birthday, and I didn't expect anybody to get it for me or anything like that. But he decided he thought it'd be cool to go with me to this expo conference thing, and so he's purchased airline tickets. He purchased a hotel. I purchased the tickets to get into the conference or expo, and by golly, we're going. So that's kind of dream come true for me a little bit. I hopefully get to see a lot of people, writers and stuff that I've known a lot online there. Never have met in person though. So yeah. So at any rate, that's gonna be exciting, interesting. We'll have some speakers, we'll have some entertainment and music, and they got Brent Weeks, who's a popular author apparently. Sold some stuff on the New York Times bestsellers list before. And I don't know that much about him personally, but be interesting. And then we've got the guy that like the guy from Disney who did the Mulan movie. He was like the director for it, I think. And He's done some other things there at Disney like that. He's going to be there speaking. And just a lot of other stuff's going on there. And of course, my son Jeremy, he's more interested in games than writing, so probably going to mooch around that area for a while too. So it's exciting. We'll have some fun. That's one of the things we were going to do for the July this year. And come down. Exciting for me, at least. And I think Jeremy for president I didn't expect. He's kind of a like he's going to one of those what do you call them, Renaissance festivals, and he does things like that. He likes to go to the conferences, gamers conferences and stuff like that. So like him and his friend Skylar, they tend to go to those kind of things, and so he's used to spending that much money on going stuff like that far away. I'm not, so I don't have that kind of money. But he's got a low housing expense right now where he's staying. He got a good job, so he's making a lot of money. So he's got money he builds up. He can afford it, I guess. So, at any rate, that's the other exciting things that's going to happen. And you have some stories, pictures. That's my son open. Hello? What's that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll be there when I can. I got a few things typed here before I go, but I'll be there. I got a few things typed here before I go. All right, bye. And that was my son. He got an ingrown toenail he suspects, which is hurting him right now. So he said he'll pick him up. And anyway, I think we got through with everything pretty much want to talk about. It's out on my mind to talk about. And thanks, Steve, for showing up and being here. And see, I guess that's pretty much it for the time. So, without further ado, since I gotta get ready and go get my son, take him to urgent care to get his toe fixed or something. I guess I'll say bye. Till next year or next year or next time I do this again. Auf Wiedersehen. Later.